as soon as I turn the camera on, guys, I got a little visitor. Jewel, I'm gonna be recording a video. No, don't get into the camera. Can I help you, sweetheart? How can I help you? No. No! No, Jewel. This is what happens when we're all stuck at home. What are you doing? Can mommy record a video real quick? Are you gonna let me or what? Okay, out. I'll talk to you later. I'm coming. I won't be long, I promise. Oh, guys. Seriously, this is what happens when you're a mommy. Okay, guys, you see me? I've got this mask on, guys. That is because I had a temperature of 101.3. Let's see, what's that in Celsius? Give me 1 second. I'm gonna look it up right now. We don't use Celsius in America. We don't use Celsius in America, guys. So let me see, Fahrenheit to Celsius. Let's see what my temperature is, guys. Let's check this out. Come on. Sometimes the Wi-Fi is slow. Okay, so 101.3, 38.5. So I am forced in my own house to use the mask, and I'm going to. I'm not going to bother. I'm going to try to be a good example for you guys. But if I get a little short of breath, guys, I'm just going to go like this. And you're not supposed to, okay? I'm just going to go like that. I see people doing this a lot, guys. This is not the proper way to wear a mask. People are so weird. I see people doing this all the time. No, guys, you have to have it up here, okay? But since I want to be a good example for you guys, to show you guys that I have a temperature and I've got my mask on, and let me see, let's see what else we're gonna do. Wait a minute. We've got the hand sanitizer. Oh, you can't even see it thanks to my little background. Well, you can see a little bit. Can you guys see that? Hand sanitizer. Pour. Right. And I just go through the hand there, in there, right? In between, I try, right? As if I was washing my hands. But make sure, guys, also you remember that when you guys need to take off your rings as well, and wash your rings, wash in between there, because a lot of people don't do that, and that can be a place where germs can stay. Anyways, but you guys already know that, some of you. So what's our title for today? Today is story time, and I'm so excited because we haven't really had story time. Everything has been serious. You know, we haven't had story time in a long time. We've had a lot of webinars. I've been having a lot of meetings and appointments with people personally. Jill, close the door. Personally with Zoom. Business has been good. For some reason, a lot of people want to come and work in Canada and America and the UK. So, hey, you guys are keeping me busy. But for those of you that I don't get to talk to, well, this is our platform, all right? So, story time. Somebody wanted me to share a story about the first time that I worked as a nurse in the hospital. So that's what we're gonna call this my first nursing shift in the hospital. I wish you guys could see mine. There we go. My expression. This was such an interesting case, guys. That first day can be exciting. I will say this was gonna be, I'm gonna talk about my first nursing shift in the ICU. The first thing is, guys, I couldn't sleep all night long. The night before, I was up in my bed twisting and turning. And I know some of you guys have experienced this, and maybe your first nursing shift is coming up and you cannot sleep. You're twisting and turning. I remember it like it was night and day. I couldn't sleep at night. And I remember my first day on that job. I was with another amazing young woman. Her name, you know, I won't mention her name, but Mrs. DeVera, I'll say that. But we were together during that time. And I remember this was a huge hospital, teaching hospital. This was Texas. Look, I'm giving things away. I don't care. Some of the people that work there, that know me might see this, and you just get to know how I felt at the time. And, you know, the beginning of my career as an RN. And we go in, we say, oh, we're here for orientation. We check in, we're so nervous, you know. And I said, okay, the first day we're going to give you guys a tour of the place. We're going to introduce you to your preceptor. For those of you in other countries, that's someone who's going to train you, right? And we said, okay. And my heart is like pumping, because I know this is like a trauma hospital, and I know I'm gonna see lines and tubes and drains and everything that you can imagine. I'm already having a heart attack. You're already having this anxiety, right? As a new grad. And someone leads us to where we're supposed to go and sign in. We sign in, I'm with my partner, we sign in the book. And right as we're walking into the room, there is a code blue. Oh, man, gee, there's a code blue. So we're walking into chaos, right? It's code blue. Crash carts are getting taken. You know, the doctors are running up. The nurses are running around. The room, you could see the room where the code blue is happening. There's lines, there's tubes, there's, you know, drips hanging. And it's just a code blue. And everyone is just running around and busy, right? I've never even worked in a hospital before, and I am a new grad, and my other lady over there, and the other young lady that I was with, it's the same situation. We've never been in this situation. My African self, it was my first time, and this experienced nurse is sitting on the sideline. She's just typing on the computer while there's a code blue over here, and she looks over there and she sees us. She must have looked at us and thought, haha, fresh meat, we're gonna put them to work. And she looks over at us and tells us, you guys get in there and help. Get in there and see what they need. And it was like, oh. Welcome to the ICU. If I could meet her on the street right now that I'm a little bit more experienced, I would give her words that you will never hear me say on this platform, right? But yeah, she looked at us and said, you get in there and help. You see what they need. Now that I look back on it, I'm sitting here like, we didn't even know how to help. We didn't even, you know, have the confidence to see what they needed. And then even if they needed something and told us, hey, get me a 500 bag of normal saline, it was like, oh, what's that? What do I get it, you know? And so we didn't know anything. And to come in the first day, that's your impression. That's the wonderful nurse, you know, this nurse, whatever she is, whatever her name was, such a great, awesome nurse. And from that day on, it was downhill. When I say downhill with this hospital, it was just like one thing to the next, one thing to the next. These were the types of nurses that existed in this hospital. Now, that's my experience, right? First day. So we get in there, the code is done, and I'm like, oh, survived the code blue. We just pretty much stood on the sidelines and just watched everything, you know, but it was just like, oh. And I'm sitting there looking at this patient, and there's lines and tubes and everything, and I'm like, in my head, like, what did I get myself into? And amazingly, you know, God shined on me that day, because I had the most amazing preceptor. And I think God placed her there for me. She was a sweet young woman, a pregnant woman, and she was just awesome. She was so patient, and she knew how to talk to me. She knew how to deal with me. She didn't have any issues with me. She treated me very, very well. And it was just awesome, you know, having her as my preceptor that first day, because imagine by now, after that code blue and that crazy nurse, G.I. Joe nurse over there, crazy army nurse over there telling us to jump in there, get in there and help, right? G.I. Joe nurse. Yeah, that's what you were, girl. G.I. Joe nurse. So amazingly, guys, after going through that, and I meet my preceptor, and she is just amazing. She's the sweetest lady. it was like God just said, you know what? Ignore that BITC, what? Ignore her. Ignore her. And meeting her, I wish I could go back and say, because I think I stayed because of her in that environment, but it was just such an awesome, she was so awesome to me. Awesome, you know? And after experiencing that entrance, that welcome to the ICU, I felt at peace being with her. And she just kind of made me feel like, you're here, I'm going to train you, you're going to be okay. Don't worry about the BITC, whatever they are in the ICU, right? So, guys, so, when when I'm telling story time, I usually like to unleash, because story time is supposed to be fun and exciting. I don't want to tell you guys a story and just be boring. So this is why I'm acting like this. Some of you are like, oh my gosh, but yeah, this is my story time. I have to tell you guys stories. And story time is not supposed to be professional, guys. You wouldn't enjoy it. But yeah, so meeting my preceptor was just awesome. She was the most beautiful thing, most beautiful person, just a beautiful spirit. And that low negativity, that low vibration energy went from low vibration to high vibration. We went from bad energy to good energy, right? So, and that's how it is sometimes. I say this to tell you guys that it's not always going to be, look back, can't breathe. It's not always going to be an easy process. I started nursing as an LVN, and then I got my RN. I just had an ADN. And I fought my way through. I'm getting my doctorate now, and that's just how it's going to be. You're going to meet people. Even on your first job, you may meet people with all types of personalities. But in each place that you go, God has somebody there for you. God has placed somebody there who's going to be a blessing to you. So don't be so afraid to try new things. When you're going into that job and you're scared, just pray, because God has already gone before you, and He's put people there to bless you, and this is your time. And don't allow people, and I think I had to learn to be in that situation, man. The ICU taught me so much about myself, about perseverance, about strength, about patience, that I could say if I didn't go into that field, I wouldn't be the person that I am today. It really has helped me a lot. So you're going to learn a lot of things on the first day. But that was my first day. Welcome to the ICU, Code Blue. And but by the end of the day in the ICU, I felt at peace, and I felt okay. Yeah. So that wasn't such a bad thing. That part was actually it was actually a good thing. So now you'll hear me talk a lot and kind of confining you guys about my good and my bad experiences. But so that was story number 1. Let's see if we have enough time, because some of you are like, oh, that was too short, we need more stories. All right, let's see here. Oh, okay, somebody wants a second round of story number 2. Okay, I'm going to tell story number 2. Now remember, this is just my opinion. This is my recollection of the events that occurred. So, in case someone ever watches this and they know which place I'm talking about, or they are that person that I'm talking about, this is just my opinion. And it's not meant to belittle anyone. It's not meant to make any particular hospital or place look crazy or anything. I'm just talking about my experiences, as a nurse. Bad or good, because we all have to really be honest with ourselves. So let me see. So that was story number 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see the second thing that someone wanted me to talk about. All right. So it says here, can you please tell us about a time when you experienced racism or discrimination, and how did you feel? I guess as a nurse, right? So you will notice the days are gone when people would drag you. Well, I'm sure they still do this, but you know what I mean. Drag you to the field and, you know, hang a rope and do whatever to you because of the color of your skin or whatever. You know, those days are gone. Those days have changed. Racism is not what we knew it to be in the nursing field. Here in America, a lot of people who are racist, they don't know that they are racist. So a lot of nurses, family members, nurse managers who have all of these preconceived notions about certain races, they don't even know and understand that they have these preconceived notions about that race. Okay. And this is a problem that even when I'm getting my master's that I've been reading about, you know, people subconsciously believe certain things about certain races, and they subconsciously treat certain groups of people who are different differently. And that may be because of the way that they were raised, you know, whether they were a certain religion, where they were raised, around the people that they were raised. And so when they come into a situation where they have to be surrounded by certain groups of people, they treat those people differently from the people that they were raised, you know, that were raised in their circle. They treat them differently, but they may not mean to. So what I'm trying to say is sometimes people will treat you differently. Have patience because of your race, but have patience because these people are ignorant, and ignorant to the fact of how they're treating you. They usually don't know, or they don't understand why they're even treating you that way. Did I break that down correctly, guys? Did I did I give you guys, was that politically correct? I think it was. So let's move on now that I've done my PR. So yes, I did experience some racism, and I don't think the individuals even knew that they were being racist or discriminatory um, towards towards me. Okay, I don't think they did. And you know what I experienced when I started off as an ICU nurse were that as a Black woman, you know, you're not smart, you're not intelligent, right? You're not smart, you're not intelligent, type of a thing. And I remember, you know, going to an interview when I wanted to switch to a different unit, and I remember sitting down with this guy, and he looks at me and he says, and you will learn, certain people, certain races will, when they hear me talking, they won't understand. They're like, well, what's wrong with that? But as an African American, you guys will know what I mean. And he looked at me and he said, well, the people that work on this unit, they are really, really smart people. But you know, and he didn't say that I wasn't intelligent, but he said the people that work on this unit are smart. And indirectly with his words, he tried to say that I was not intelligent. Now that's really, really funny for someone who has a master's and has passed CCRN. Do you guys see that right there? CCRN, right? That's not for dumb people, right? MSN, and even just an RN in general. And then me going for my doctorate, yes, from a reputable university and doing well. Yeah. So you'll come across little things like that. You know, you'll come across certain physicians who will not want to speak to you because they don't think you know what you're talking about, or they'll take one look at you and you'll know the look, you know, and then they'll go right to your supervisor or to a nurse that has a different skin color than you, right? So you will understand some of these things that will happen, right? These things will happen. So, you know, don't be intimidated by that because it's going to happen. You're going to experience those things as a nurse in the United States of America, as a minority nurse working in Canada. And then, you know, if you're a minority as being in a male and not a female, you will also experience certain type of discrimination. Being an older nurse, whether black or white, it doesn't matter. You know, there are just certain groups of people, age groups, genders that will experience, that will have certain negative experiences in this field. Okay, so yeah, I hope that you get that. I don't really want to go into too much detail with that, um, but you will have a lot of those situations. So be careful. You know, be careful with where you choose to get your first job. If it's in the United States or Canada or wherever, and you are a minority, you know, research the place, research the percentage of minorities in that community, understand the cultural background of that community, so that when you go work in that hospital, you already know that these are the people in the community. They will be pulling into the hospital. Okay, pulling to the hospital. So they will be pulled into the hospital, and then you will have to work with these individuals. And these individuals will have certain belief systems because that is the culture within the community. So understand those things so that when you come across those things and those things happen, you're not taken aback and disappointed and hurt. But you will expect it and be ready for it. Do you understand? So yeah, you know. And another interesting thing that happened that I knew, that I was like, okay, I'm getting treated differently because of the color of my skin. I noticed real quickly as I worked as a nurse that members who were different in color were getting more help than I was. And for a long time, I thought, why? Is it because they don't like me? Is it because of my personality? Is it because I'm mean? Because I tried so hard to be nice to everyone. And this is the same hospital in Texas. You guys, some of you guys that are close to me, you already know. And so certain other people would get shown certain things, but I wouldn't, you know. And I remember one time, I will never forget this day because I was so disappointed and I was so humiliated this day. As a new grad, I remember I had never set up for a chest tube. I'd never set up for a chest tube in my whole nursing career, right? You just watch it, but I've never really set up for it. Now, if I'm working with a new grad, I know how to do that because now I've been shown that. After I left that hospital, I went to another hospital where they trained me accordingly, right? So if I have a new grad, I'm going to ask, you've got this procedure, okay? Or if you get a procedure that you don't know, come and get me. I'll help you. I've got you. So the physicians come by, they want to do a chest tube, okay? I don't know how to do a chest tube. I've never been shown how to do a chest tube. So I go and I ask a particular nurse of a certain color that is different than mine, as you can understand. You can probably guess, right? And I said, hey, I've got this over here. I need this. The physicians are coming and I'm going to need help, you know, to set up this chest tube. And didn't get the help that I needed, right? It was like, I'm busy right now, but I'll just give me a moment. Give me a moment. The nurse just took her sweet time, just didn't want to, even her demeanor and everything, she really didn't want to assist. And this individual was a resource who was supposed to be helping, right? So by the time I got to the the bed, I'm like, waiting here, are you coming? You know, I try to see which other nurses, but the nurses were busy, and then this individual was supposed to be helping. And dang, the physician come. I already set everything up. I just needed her to show me how to put everything together, which is something so simple, and hook the tubes up to suction and all of that. You know, just the last part. I had already gathered all of these supplies, right? So at this point, the physician is there with the residents, and he rips me apart because I was not prepared. And when he rips me apart, here she comes to save the day. Oh, I'll do it, Dr. So-and-so. And she comes in and she sets it apart. She puts it together, and everything. And then she gives me this look like, you know, and walks out. Well, I looked completely incompetent, and the residents are looking at me like, "Oh, you poor thing." Everybody's looking at me like, "Oh, poor girl, poor girl." You know, so those are the types of things that you will experience. These are the types of people that you will meet. Really crazy nurses who suffer from low self-esteem, who feel like you know their glory and shine is increased when you are decreased you know so yeah, and I say that to say is I till this day I believe that because of my color of my skin. Yeah, definitely. You get treated differently, and you will come across things like this where you will wonder what it is, and you will do a process of elimination, and the last thing that will last will be the color of your skin. And some of you have thicker skin than others. You will um, your skin will thicken as you increase with experience as a nurse, because over time you will learn how to tackle these situations and how to deal with them accordingly. Because obviously now, as experience, I can speak up and I can say, "Hey, I said, if you can't help me, I need the charge nurse in here. I need somebody else to help me with this, because I've got this procedure and I need help ASAP." Right? Whereas before, as a new grad, you're kind of timid, But over time, you'll learn how to deal with these situations, tackle them, use your big girl voice, put your big girl panties on, and deal with it. But yeah, guys, so I hope this has been fun for you guys. Remember, guys, I do have a book on Amazon that kind of helps you with this. And you can read my book. It's just got certain checklists for certain skills, especially if you're going to be working in the ICU, so that you're prepared for that, and that you can just kind of keep as a pocketbook. You may have one on your unit, but it wouldn't have to help mine as well. And right now, it's like dirt cheap. It's dirt cheap. I've actually been giving it out for free, because for me, it's not really for me, it's not for the money, but it's for promotional services. So if you want, my book, you guys know I've been getting a lot of emails as well. Go ahead and email me. Send me a message. If you have a question and you're dealing with a certain situation in your field, that's what I'm here. Go to thenewnurse.com, new-nurse.com, and send me a message with whatever situation you need. Like, feel free. This is why I do this. And I just love talking to you guys and letting you know that nursing is not perfect. It's got its flaws. Goodness, it's got its flaws. But you are in the best field. I've always had a job, always getting paid very well. I'm gonna have my doctorate. I'm gonna have my own practice, guys. It's opened so many doors, and you can do it. You can do it. So stay with it. If you're feeling like you want to quit, call me. I'll talk you out of it. I'll tell you why you need to stay as a nurse. So yeah, so reach out to me if you need anything. I love you guys. And as you know, my name is Nurse Linda, Nurse Choa, and I am your favorite nursing instructor. That will never change, right? So bye guys. I gotta go. I've got hungry children, and I wanna breathe. All right, guys. Bye.